Recently on my day off, I was scrolling through YouTube on my phone when I saw this. As I looked at the image, I wanted to watch it so much because I knew Rabbi Tovia Singer wouldn't be able to help himself. I knew it. I wondered how he would do it this time. How would he attack Christianity without shooting his own beliefs in the foot? He couldn't be so foolish to say what I think he would say, would he? I wanted to press play on that video badly, but I kept my composure, reminding myself it was my day off, and saved the video to my videos to watch later. Well, today is the day, and today I'll be defending Christianity against the blatant lies of this famous rabbi. He didn't only do what I thought he would, he did worse. So I'm going to watch the video and expose the clear lies, distortions and problems in his video. This first clip is going to be about a minute long. I want you to understand why Rabbi Singer spoke about this. I also want you to see the whole context, and so anyone who isn't a Christian watching this sees I'm not hiding anything.
Caller, you're live on here. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hey guys, it's the Rev Robbins over here in North Carolina. Hope y'all are doing good.
Welcome back. Go right ahead.
Hey, so Rabbi, question for you. Where did the idea and the notion that us Gentiles, because like I've said before, I'm not going to convert. I don't have any intention to convert. But when did the notion that we were, I guess, subhuman in the eyes of God and the rest of the world, when did that come about? I guess would be because Jesus in Matthew 15 basically said we were dogs that ate from the Jews they ate from the crumbs of the Jews' table, and Paul in Romans 11 went on to say that the only reason God saves us is because He wants to make the Jews mad and jealous. When did this idea come about that we were like the second-class humans, and that God only loved you guys?
Simply put, why are Gentiles called dogs? All you have to do, Rabbi, is tell the truth. The truth will make you free.
Two parts, two answers to this.
He says there are two answers to this. The first answer he gives is Christians believe salvation has two stages. The first stage is to the Jews, the second is to the Gentiles. That's fine. But listen to what he says based on this.
This bears no resemblance to anything in Tanakh.
This bears no resemblance to the Old Testament. This is nothing like the Old Testament. Look at his face as he said this. It's mind-boggling that a rabbi with so much reach could ever say this with a smug face. God's work with the Israelites is like a beacon that draws all other people in. This is what he just explained as the Christian belief. Jesus came to the Jews first, and then the message goes out far and wide. But listen to what he said again about this.
This bears no resemblance to anything in Tanakh.
But this is what he says later on in the video, which shows he's contradicting himself in the same video.
Our entire role as a Jew is to facilitate the salvation of the non-Jew.
When you keep watching, he continues to reinforce that point. But you just heard him say in the same video, what the Jews are here for is to spread the light to all nations. That's the exact same thing as the Christian view. Jesus is the King of the Jews. His light shines from within Israel to the rest of the world. To the Jew first, then the Gentile. But Rabbi Singer said,
this bears no resemblance to anything in Tanakh.
It gets worse. Remember, this video should be about why Jesus called Gentiles dogs. After speaking for a couple of minutes, he still hasn't answered the question. Instead of being truthful about why a Jew like Jesus would call Gentiles dogs, he doesn't. He keeps talking about Christians. And it should make you wonder at this point, why is a Jewish rabbi talking about Christianity, but not the Old Testament? The Old Testament talks about Gentiles being dogs, doesn't it, Rabbi Singer?
All this is vulgar to a Jew.
Passages like Exodus 22 or Psalm 22 disagree. And ye shall be holy men unto me, neither shall ye eat flesh that is torn of beasts in the field. Ye shall cast it to the dogs. A common Jewish interpretation of this is that the dogs mentioned here are Gentiles, or at very least that dogs and Gentiles are alike. Psalm 22 talks about a man surrounded by dogs who pierce his hands and feet. Jesus obviously quoted this psalm about himself and the Gentiles who crucified him. But even popular rabbinic Jewish interpretation agrees these dogs are Gentiles too. But this is where you must be careful. I'll tell you what Rabbi Singer should have told you, because unlike him, I won't single out parts of the Bible and hide other parts. His whole video is to attack Christianity and leave the Old Testament in a good light. But you've seen how I could easily reverse all his arguments here against him. But that would not be truthful. I didn't mention these Old Testament passages to say he has the same problem. The truth is, God doesn't look at Gentiles as lesser than Jews. God created mankind in his image, not only Israelites. God in the Old and New Testament is talking about the actions of the people. That is why God would call someone a dog. It's no secret today that the Canaanites, for example, that God removed from the land, did some of the most heinous acts. Bestiality, inappropriate behavior with animals, child sacrifice, offering their babies to false gods. God is calling people who engage in those sorts of behaviors dogs, not just because you're not an Israelite. And we know this because God calls Israelites dogs in the Bible too. And the rabbi knows this, at least I hope he does, but saying this won't help his case. In Isaiah 56, for example, listen to what God says about Israelites. His watchmen, blind, they are all ignorant, they are all dumb dogs, they cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Not only does God say Israelites here are dogs, he calls them dumb dogs that are muzzled, they cannot speak, but he says more in the next verse. Yea, greedy dogs, which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. God says they are greedy dogs. Everything Rabbi Singer says about the New Testament in this video backfires. He's shooting himself in the foot. If you do certain behaviors, you are acting like an animal, i.e. a dog. If you don't, you're not acting like an animal, i.e. you are not a dog. It doesn't matter whether you are Israelite or not. This is God's point throughout the whole Bible. Anybody who says otherwise is ignorant of the Bible or is trying to deceive you. I don't know what it is with rabbis trying to attack Christianity, but their arguments always get destroyed. He wasn't the first, and he definitely will not be the last.